Hi everyone, Michelle here from Right Side. So you may have seen the New South Wales Government announcement around the short-term moratorium to protect COVID impacted tenants. So a little bit more about that. It is a short-term moratorium, so it runs from the 14th of July through to the 11th of September 2021. It's for residential tenants in New South Wales, and it's for those that have been impacted by COVID. So let's drill down a little bit more. What does COVID impacted actually mean? Well, for the purposes of this moratorium, it means that your net household income has decreased by 25% or more. So a few things to note: it is a household income, so that includes the income for all tenants in the house, and it's been quite prescribed about how it's calculated. So what you do is you look at your average weekly income to the 4 weeks leading up to the 26th of June, and then you compare that to your weekly income from the 14th of July. So if you are COVID impacted, what do you do? If you rent with us here at Right Side, reach out to your agent. They'll be able to send you lots of detailed information right away. You will need to complete a form that has been put together by the New South Wales Government. Now this form provides the information of your financial situation and how that's changed, and also details of the payment plan that you're proposing. So you will need to attach evidence to this. That might be pay slips or bank statements in those 4 weeks to the 26th of June, and then information, communication from your employer or other pay slips since the 14th of July. So if you're a landlord and your tenant has served you a notice that they are COVID impacted, what do you do? So step one is to review all of their evidence to make sure that everything's in place, that their household net income has decreased by 25% or more. Secondly, you are expected to negotiate around the rent. You're not obligated to, however, the New South Wales Government has announced an incentive that landlords can claim for any rent waiver that they pass on to their COVID impacted tenants. So it's important to note that any negotiation is documented in the prescribed form. So some frequently asked questions is from landlords: how do I claim the $1,500 rebate? Well, the New South Wales Government's indicated that the rebate can come in two different forms. One via cashback and the second via reduction in your land tax bill. As most landlords aren't subject to land tax, we expect that most of them will be claiming a cashback. So you'll need to make sure that all your evidence and appropriate forms are in place in order to lodge this claim. So the government's indicated it will be an online form, but at the time of filming it's not available yet. They've indicated it may become available in early August. So for tenants, do I stop paying rent while negotiations are underway? No. In order to be covered by the moratorium, you will need to continue to pay at least 25% of your weekly rent. So sometimes negotiations can take a little longer than what we'd like them to, but make sure that you continue to pay at least 25% of your weekly rent. So can I terminate my lease? So for tenants, normally there's a break fee if you end a lease early. If you're COVID impacted, you may be seeking to negotiate what that fee would be. For landlords, there are many reasons why leases can be terminated and they are still fine to go ahead. It might be that it's a breach of a lease agreement, or it could be the end of the fixed term. These fall outside of this short-term moratorium. Do I need to share my personal financial information as part of my submission to enter into rent negotiations? Yes, you do. There is an obligation for the tenant to provide evidence of the impact to their household income. So that would include pay slips or bank statements, whatever's most appropriate for your circumstance. It's also important to remember it's for the whole household. So if you're in a share house, say with one tenant of 3 that's been impacted, all 3 of the tenants will need to share their financial information for the purposes of that initial submission that you serve on your agent or landlord. So where to get more information? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. We have blogs on our website, and of course I'll link more information to the government websites below. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help.